Yes, we are back. This is the 260. I'm Joe Walbert. I'm joined by the man they call the mayor of the 260, Dave Rickert. And we are so pleased to be joined by the one and only, I would argue, maybe possibly the most likable person in the 260.
Hands down.
Officer James Payne. And James, it is a pleasure to have you on the 260. The 260 is all about what we want to do with our show is bring people from the community on and talk about their journeys and their experiences.
Their life story.
And life stories. And as what Dave always preaches to me, what have they given back to the 260? Nobody has given more to the 260 than you. Thanks for joining us, James.
Oh, my pleasure. I thank y'all for having me. I really am happy to be here.
Murray, Kentucky, a place south of Paducah, about 20 minutes to Tennessee.
Yes.
In the heart of Kentucky.
Yes.
You grew up there, 5 siblings. What was it like to grow up in Murray, Kentucky?
A wonderful, wonderful experience. I would not change it for the world. My brothers and sisters, we fought and were very competitive, but we fought and loved each other. And that's one thing we had and our family preached was love. And we grew up in a very diverse community.
Yes.
So that was a blessing in itself because I learned so much about people and love.
Yeah.
And that's what we show in Murray. And Murray is just a great place. That's my home. The 260 is where I'm at now.
Yes.
But Murray's my home. And
I was talking to him this past weekend, and he was just, you could hear the joy of him being home.
yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, they honored you in Murray a few years back. I saw a beautiful picture of you, your mother, some siblings, a nephew, and they are so stinking proud of you. And Murray only has about 20,000 people in it, if I'm correct, James, maybe 20, 25,000. It was beautiful. They brought you back because you had made such an impact in Murray, but they were so proud of you. What did that moment mean to you to come back as a hometown hero in Murray, Kentucky?
Oh, it meant the world to me. And keep in mind, Fort Wayne taught me so much. This city has been good to me. Being a police officer during the riot situation was one that was amazing. And shout out to
You kept the peace.
all the Fort Wayne Police Department because we worked together and brought that to a solution by the grace of God. And once again, when that gentleman approached me and talked about, James, what is it that you would have to say to the people of Fort Wayne?
Yes.
And I said, Fort Wayne is the city of churches and sports.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's just keep it that way and let's make it happen.
We
And
really
make it
never had a
happen.
problem in this town, ever.
No.
But it's men like you that step up, that are leaders that people respect, man. And back to Murray, talk about Mark Brady. We've all talked about great youth coaches or high school coaches that reached us. You're playing down there. You're an all-state player. Talk about their relationship with Mark Brady and what his coaching meant to you, James.
Oh, it was amazing. Coach Brady, he taught me, first of all, about character. What are you doing when I'm not looking?
Yeah.
As well as Coach Tony Franklin, Coach Rick Fisher. The list goes on and on. The coaches that taught me in high school and middle school, they made us work hard. However, they taught it with love, and they were father figures. They were not
They want the
afraid
best
to
for
talk
you.
to you. Yes. And still to this day, I keep in contact with those gentlemen, and they are a big part of my life.
Wow, that's impressive. Now, going forward, you're a star down at Murray, Kentucky. It's time to play college ball. Here comes the University of Louisville. And they have the legendary coach, Howard Schellenberger, who took the Miami University, to their first national championship. And Howard Schellenberger was Nick Saban before Nick Saban. What was that like, man? Here you are playing in Murray, Kentucky, and all of a sudden, man, here comes Howard Schellenberger recruiting you, brother.
Ooh, you talking about somebody that was sweating. He didn't leave a pipe like he did for those big Miami players, but when he came and his presence was there, he had me. I mean, legendary coach, God rest his soul. he just taught me so much about being a man. He really did. He cared about his players. He wanted his players to be able to go home during the break, have an intelligent conversation with mom and dad, and be productive citizens in society once they finish.
Wow.
So with him, he always kept in contact with me. We via text or some type of social media, and I miss him. He taught me so much. He was like a second father. Of course, James Payne Seniors. That's the man. That was the man.
That was the man.
And
God bless your father.
Yes, thank you.
Was Coach Schellenberger a coach that you could? Because I played for some coaches. You could walk into his office.
Well, that's what it sounds like he was.
Yeah,
Yes.
you could walk in his office and talk to him. Was he a coach like that?
Absolutely. To be honest with you, in 1996, Murray High, I was one of the assistant coaches for the high school, and we went to the state championship and played Beechwood. I called him and let him know. I said, Coach, I'm going to be in town. He goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm coaching. He goes, coaching what? So he's just a character like that. So he came to the hotel, met our coaching staff.
Wow.
And that's him. He was a father figure to every player that played around him. And that's what I love and I'm going to miss about him.
So he's not Urban Meyer.
I like what I love about Dave. Now we're going to ask Ben. We love Ben Boquist with multi-format sonar. We're going to see if we can put the picture up of you and all your boys that you played with in college. But talk about the guys you played with. Look at that, man.
Oh, my goodness. That's
Dave.
the crew.
That is the crew. Now, I think I see Jeff Brom in there.
Yes, sir. Jeff Brom on the left-hand side. Wow. Well, you got in the front row, you got Darius Watson in the yellow shirt. Played professional football. Have to the left of him is Aaron, to my left, to the right, Aaron Bailey, who played for the Colts.
Yes.
On the other side is Leonard Ray.
Oh, yeah.
Just an amazing ball player. Then you have Anthony Saunier and Kevin Gaines and Ben Sumter, Vince Dewberry, Garen Patrick, Jim Hanna, Kevin Cook, Jeff Brom.
Yes.
Tom Carroll, Ralph Dawkins.
Ralph Dawkins was a baller.
Yes, he was. And his brother, Agent Zero, was amazing as well. Greg Minnis, Mike Neely, and, oh, my goodness. I can't see the big fella over there, but yes.
But how?
Yes.
Are you still in contact with those guys? And is that a brotherhood that never goes away?
It is. It is. I just spoke with Aaron Bailey last week, and we had talked a little bit and text each other every now and again. Once you have a band of brothers like that, it's amazing, and it's just the love that you have for each other. And we went through the battles together and yelled at each other, fought with each other in the locker rooms. But at the end of the day, we're brothers and we loved one another.
Wrapping up Louisville, who was the best player you played against in college?
Oh, my goodness.
Mine was Marvin Harrison. He played for Syracuse, now he's in
Yes.
Cincinnati.
Wow. Well, there's this legendary gentleman who, number 4, played at Southern Mississippi.
Mr. Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
Yes,
Brett Favre.
we were undefeated, and we went into Southern Mississippi. We were winning 7-3. Joe Johnson had Brett Favre by the shoulder pad, and he stood up and released a dime to his wide receiver in the end zone and beat us with 3 seconds left in the game.
Oh.
It was amazing, and Coach Schellenberger said, Brett Favre is good. Yes.
Going forward, you finish up Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
How did you make your way up to the 260? And then how did you ultimately make the commitment to join the force?
Okay. Archie Lundsey was a city councilman, God rest his soul, and he asked me if I heard of Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I said, not really. I've heard of Terre Haute, I've heard of Indy, and but he brought me up here with Coach John Archery, etc., and Carlton Mabel to play football for the River City Rhinos.
Correct.
And met this gentleman right here with my quarterback. But anyway, we'll talk about that. But we had a good time, and after that, I worked for Child Protective Services for a little bit.
Was it hard taking the pads off, though?
Oh,
That
yes.
was difficult for me.
Yes.
You know what was difficult, Dave? I didn't miss playing. I didn't miss being beaten up. It actually took 6 months for my hands to feel better. You know what I missed? I missed the fellas
Camaraderie.
Yes.
in the locker room.
Yes.
I missed it so bad. Was that how it was for you?
Absolutely. I mean, to come here and find again the Corey Johnsons, the Mike Woodses, the Tony Browers,
ballers.
all those guys that were just the 260 all day long. To stop playing and not see those guys on the field was very, very, very hard. Charles Dempsey, etc. And I know I'm just going all South Side, but those are guys.
Go ahead.
Right.
I'm the South Side kid.
Absolutely, baby.
Didn't know that.
So that was difficult, but you got to the point to where, like Dave always tells me each day, Joe, what's your purpose?
Yeah.
So it's almost like you had to find your purpose then.
I did. And then by the grace of God, he touched me, and a friend of mine had said, James, why don't you try out for the police department? And I'm like, coming from the South, I was like, the police? Well, okay, well, I'll see what happens. I was able to be accepted into the Fort Wayne Police Academy, and from day one, the staff at the academy, they were amazing. And they showed me so much more about being a police officer. People have their impressions of police. However, you are your own person, and you bring a quality to this world. God gives everybody the ability to do something special, and you can do that still being a police officer, and I just embrace that and happy about it.
20 years later.
20 years later.
I'm going to say something a little bit controversial.
Okay.
You are probably the most likable person in the 260. Dave always schools me in politics. We talk politics a lot. A lot of people don't know that. Dave always talks about, Joe, for a politician to break through, they must have likability. I was out watching you ref the Homestead-Columbia City game. I'm out in Whitley, okay?
Yes,
You're
sir.
reffing the game. Whitley's down about 20 points. All I hear in the stands are how much those people love you and stories about you.
It's everywhere he goes.
Everywhere you go, I'm telling you, this is going to be a little controversial. This will probably get a few retweets. These politicians that we have in this area, and I'm no fan of politicians, they all would die for your likability. You have the ability, with your likability, you could be the congressman. And you know what?
There's the open seat.
I tell you what, there's an open seat. These politicians are always running for the next job, okay? And I see your sweethearts over there laughing. These politicians always run for the next job. Brother, I'm telling you, man, they don't have the likability that you have. I could run you as a third-party candidate. Tell them, Dave, as an independent, and you could be Congressman Payne. And you know what you could say? Congressman Payne. I'm going to bring the pain to Washington, D.C. I got to thank Sonar. That was from Sonar, a multi-format. But really, we need good men in politics. Mm-hmm. You're a good man. And your likability is something that crosses over all the 260. I don't want to get your head too big, because I know I used to have to fit into a football helmet. But you know what? If you wanted to, you would win. You could be the next congressman.
He'd have my
if you
vote.
wanted to.
Oh, my God. Me in politics,
Because you know why? Because you're an outsider. But that's what people crave. You're honest. You tell the truth.
yes.
And what I love, too, about, like, your work over at Lakeside and what Dave and I talked about, you always talk about prevention.
Yes.
You don't want to be that officer that just shows up
No.
when it's all over with.
Right.
You've dedicated your life to prevention. And I know that the saying you could be the next congressman, I'm telling you, you could.
Wow.
And those are the people we need
Yes,
in
sir.
the 260 as leaders. So that's going to probably get out a few tweets and this and that. But I love it, man. Congressman Payne, Dave.
It has a ring.
Well, I tell you, I'm honored that you think that. I love you guys, but Lord, have mercy. That'd take some strong prayer.
Strong player, man.
Yes, sir.
I want to head over to officiating.
I'm sorry?
I want to head over to
Yes, sir.
officiating.
Yes.
So, how did you get into it?
Danny Nolan, as well as Judd Raver, and a couple of other gentlemen had asked me if I was interested in being an official once I completed playing. And initially I was like, oh, okay. And I thought about it. I can be at the game. I got the best seat in the house. And I can
And stay in shape.
and stand too. And also, I feel as though God called me to work with kids and work with people. And I want every person that I come in contact with to know that whatever they're reaching for, they can go get.
I like your
It's all
slogan.
possible.
There's rules in athletics just like life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And every player that I've come in contact with, from Bernard Pollard on and all the guys, and I'll tell them, go for it. Go get it. It's yours to go get. And I feel like that would be my testimony.
We was talking the other day, and you told the Ross kid at Dwenger,
Yes.
come on,
Get busy. Yes. And
look what he had a heck of a game.
yes.
Heck of a game.
And that's what I want kids. I mean, I try to encourage them because you're not promised tomorrow, and not everybody's given the athletic ability that a lot of these kids have.
A good friend of mine is Brian Bollinger. He's an NFL ref.
Yes.
You know him.
Yes.
And I asked him, I go, he started right when he got out of college. I go, why? Why do you want to be a ref? He goes, I miss the grass. I miss the lights.
Yes. There's nothing like coming to a high school game, smelling the popcorn, remembering as a high school player, and then seeing the fans and coming out of the tunnel and adjusting your pads and just, you feel this feeling of just, this is on. As a referee, you feel the same way. And then on top of that, you get the luxury of teaching kids how to play the game the right way and encouraging them not to be scared, telling the guy, hey, don't bow down to him.
Yep,
he puts his pants on just like you do. Go get it.
Masculinity.
That's it.
Controlled masculinity.
Yes.
And I agree. And it's funny, we're getting older.
Yeah.
But each fall, that's that cut of that grass. And I drive by those schools and I hear
We're running out of grass.
Yes.
I mean, it all comes right back, doesn't it, man?
Yes, it
And
does.
It's just like the lessons you learn,
Yes.
the discipline, the toughness. I had a coach one time, he says, Walburn, you know why we huddle up each time? Well, of course, to get the play and then call the play. He says, no, you idiot. The point of huddling up every time is it's about life. Football's about life. You get knocked down, you got to get back up and get in the huddle and play for the next play. And that's how life is. You got to get back up the next day
Yes.
and play for life. And that's why, man, we love you so much in the 260, man, because your positivity, man. It's a message, and you live that message.
Yes.
The first time I ever met James, my oldest son, who is now 30, he pitched in college also, but he's a Woodland kid. It might have been a travel baseball, but it was down at Indiana Tech. And James is behind the plate, and he's going like this. Come on, big fella. You're right there. You're right there.
Yes.
You work with the kids.
Exactly.
And then my youngest, who's just finished up playing, you was doing his college games at
Yes.
St. Francis.
Absolutely, and that's what I love. No one comes to a baseball game to see walks. You
No.
know,
That's right.
Everybody wants to see. Everybody wants to see the ball hit. So I tell these kids, hey, swing that bat,
Yep.
because you're gonna get a pitch, and if you don't get it,
Be ready.
be ready.
So you've done 6 state championship games in baseball.
Yes, sir.
But what is your favorite? Out of all 3, what is your favorite?
Nothing like football. Nothing like football.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's just
I see you. Let's go.
Yes.
I usually go down there wrestling.
Yes.
I'm usually up in the booth. I
Yes.
see you, James.
Oh, I tell you,
Oh,
I tell a kid, I'm like looking, and I'm looking at the guard, and his foot's back. I'm like, he's leaving. He's got his foot back for a reason. I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my goodness. And lo and behold, there he's pulling. Here he comes. I'm like,
You still read that?
Yes,
Isn't
still
that funny?
looking. It's still lit.
those disciplines you learn.
Yes.
You watch the game or you ref the game, and you still see it, don't you?
absolutely. And I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
That's fantastic, man. You know,
Are you doing any games this weekend?
Yes, sir. I have the 3A game at noon, so I'll have Northwood and Dwenger.
oh, you got the Northwood and Dwenger game.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
now
what
I'm
I
going
was-
to tell you, we were talking on here. Northwood is the team to beat in 3A.
Yes.
Dwenger's huge, though.
Yes.
I think, James, whoever wins that game
It's state champ.
is going to be your state champion. in
Absolutely.
3A.
Absolutely.
Wow, what a great gift
And,
for a game.
and both coaches are so amazing. I love Matt, love the coach from Northwood, and I just want both of them. My pregame conference is going to be, go get it. Go get it.
Have you done a Northwood game this year?
I have not done a
Or
Northwood
last year.
game. Actually, no, but the last
So
time
they
I
got
did
a heck of a
Northwood,
player, Cade Brenner.
okay. Last time it's the funny thing is the last time I had this game about 8 to 10 years ago at Blackford, and Fia Cable in his class beat Northwood.
Wow.
And went to semi-state.
Wow.
And it was amazing. And
So
those guys
Winner has a hope.
That's fantastic.
So yes.
The journey from Murray, Kentucky to the 260,
Yeah.
to joining the police department, to officiating. Has James Payne found his purpose in life?
Yes. And my purpose in life is to touch the lives of others and make them know that God has a purpose for them. They're here for a reason. God has got people here for a reason. And it is to take care of business, preach his word, and love each other.
That's absolutely beautiful. And looking back, what would be the advice you would give a young James Payne or the kids you mentor in the 260? What's some of the message that you give? Because times have changed so much, brother.
Yes.
I mean, we're getting older, man.
Yes.
Time moves on. Has that message changed the last 20 years, or is there a different way you have to deliver it? How does James Payne now reach James Payne when he was 18 years old?
I tell James Payne, don't be lazy. Take advantage of every opportunity, every second of the day, and work at your craft. And not only that, give God the glory for the information and the ability and wisdom he's giving you. Use it to your advantage and take care of business and go get it.
It's an absolute beautiful message, Dave.
There's one thing we didn't even speak about with James so far, and that's the lack of refs in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, we got
Yes.
to get that out, man.
Yes.
What do we got to do?
All you have to do is go to ihsaa.org and become a ref. And if you need any assistance, feel free to reach out to me through the police department, email, or whatever.
Sure.
We will help you get your license. We have some great officials in the area, and we got some guys that no longer play but want to be a part of the game.
Yes.
Come and make some income and have a great time. You meet great people, and the fraternity is amazing.
So what is the lack of refs in the state? Is it the parents, or is it guys just got old and we didn't replenish?
It can be, you have to have tough skin. However,
I bet you do. I ain't gonna lie, I was up there that one night in Northridge. Oh, remember that one?
Yes, sir.
I've done it all in high school football. I see
Yes.
Rugby smiling at me.
Yes.
I was subpoenaed for a high school football game I broadcasted. I've been banned. I've been subpoenaed. I've been at all. So tell them, James. Tell 'em you're going to have tough skin.
Yeah, I have tough skin. But what I tell people, I said, I'm not perfect. A basketball player is not going to make every shot. A football player is not going to score a touchdown every play.
Yeah.
And a baseball player is not going to hit a base hit or a home run every play. But there's always the next one. You live for the next one. Don't charge it to my heart because I love the game. I love the kids, and it's all about them.
Okay. High school football. Best place for a game that you've refereed at. Most electric place that you've gone and reffed a game, and you were like, man, this is rocking. This reminds me of my college days.
Ooh, Center Grove and Westfield.
Oh, let's go.
Boy, that wasn't none. Actually, you know what? That one or Ben Davis and Cathedral.
Woo. Those some big boys.
Oh my goodness, there was some hitting going on there, but in the 260,
Yeah, your
baby,
juice is going
there's
again.
nothing like, you ain't lying, got me excited. There's nothing like a north side, south side, a
Yes.
Snyder, Northrop, all those rival games, Wayne and South Side. Just the 260 is real.
And you've
And
seen
that's it.
so much football. I feel like, everybody's contribution with football. We've got Traction AP. We've got just so many great youth coaches, great high school coaches. Don't you think the football up here has come so far the last 10 to 15 years,
Oh,
James?
absolutely. Absolutely. With I remember Jalen Smith's class, Metro-wise, they went down to Florida and blew through the competition.
Yeah.
And it was like nothing. And I hope the kids watching here in the 260 area know that you're always on someone's watch list.
Yes.
Always on someone's watch list.
I tell kids that all the time. Somebody's watching.
Yes. Go out there and give them a show every time you touch any ball or whatever. And women, volleyball, whatever it is. Go out here and show your talents. Do not waste it.
Now, James, we're out here at Speece. Speece is the title sponsor. Great people out here.
Yes.
Speece is getting back on the map. What are some of your thoughts about Speece, and what's your message to what's going on out here at Spiece. I think Spiece is going to get back to being a great beacon for the 260.
I'd like to see him do camps for adults to go get their officiating license.
We'd love for that to happen out here. What's your message about Spiece and the 260, but really the greatness that's going on at Spiece?
Oh, wow. I just took a tour through the facility. This facility is magnificent. This is a place where you can learn, have fun, be safe, and be educated on whatever craft you so choose. This facility is amazing. Done a great job.
Now we're going to go to our rapid fire round. So we got some questions, quick answers.
Uh-oh.
All right, here we go. When you're working out, what are you listening to music-wise?
Little John.
How about that, Dave? I got to give a shout-out to Sonar's wife, Crystal. It was her idea with the rapid-fire sessions. Fantastic idea. Yes. I would love Jamal's answers. So Little John with the music.
Yes.
And Dave?
Obviously, we know you're a very busy man. Are you a Netflix fan?
I am. I love Netflix.
What are you watching?
Actually, the last thing I watched was Chris Rock.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
I've heard that's pretty good.
That is. That is.
What's your favorite restaurant in the 260? Or give us a couple places that you love to eat at.
Oh, my goodness. Buffalo Wild Wings. Shout out to Jason Fabini over at the Black Canyon.
That's two right there.
That's
That's two.
Man, that is the spot. Also, Granite City. Halls on Coliseum.
I ate there today.
And any place you go here in the 260 gonna get you.
What's your favorite Mexican?
That's agaves or Guadalupe's.
Wow, Guadalupe's. Great answer.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if you ever recharge because you have such a positive motor. But when the great James Payne recharges, where do you go or what do you do? What does that look like?
Well, honestly, what I do is the way I recharge is when I go home, I lay down, I do my Bible readings, and that kind of calms me. And then just mellow out. That's it. Just mellow out by just once I read my word, it puts me in a whole different state of mind, and I can recharge.
It's beautiful.
What is your favorite personal sports moment in your career?
Wow.
You can do all three sports if you want to.
Football. As an 8th grader, had the pleasure of playing varsity football in Kentucky. I couldn't let her, but I could play.
That's what I saw. I mean, you guys played 5 years of varsity.
Yeah.
High school.
And baseball as well.
Yeah.
In football, my greatest memory was we were playing our crosstown rival, and I'm an 8th grader, and I've heard cuss words, but I didn't hear cuss words like the team was calling those kind of cuss words. And Dwayne Gammons and Steve Relich were two scholar athletes that were amazing, said, "Don't worry about it, James Jr. They're not going to touch you." So I scored the winning point to beat them 20-19 as an 8th grader.
Wow.
And then in baseball, Coach Miller, God rest his soul, was like a father as well. He put me in with 2 outs, runner on 2nd and 3rd in the district championship game. And the pitcher was throwing 90 miles an hour. And by the grace of God, I just closed my eyes and hit it and got a double, won the game.
Wow. That's beautiful. You know what, James? We're going to wrap it up there, man. I want to say one more thing to you. I have a 10-year-old son. If there's one man that I would want my 10-year-old son to grow up and become as a role model, it would be you, brother.
Oh, Joe, it means
I think that's all the 260.
It's the whole 260. And you know what? Don't give up on Congressman Payne.
Yes, sir.
We can raise some money. I'll put $100K behind you, baby. We
Yes,
can
sir.
raise some money. I'm telling you.
He's got it.
Congressman Payne. I love it. But you know what, brother? When your name's mentioned in the 260, it'll always be mentioned with pride, man.
Thank you.
Everybody at the 260 loves you and respects you.
And I love them.
And God bless you, man.
And God bless you,
Officer Payne, Dave, there you have a beautiful
You and Dave are
interview,
amazing,
man.
y'all.
Thank
Great.
you, thank you.
Seriously,
And you know
thank y'all.
what? Again, I want to thank Spiece. I want to thank Jack Brumby,
Yes.
Michelle, Troy, all the great people of Spiece. The ability to come out here and do this podcast, and really the ability to build Spiece back up, and I really want everybody in the 260 to come out and support Spiece.
Yes.
Because Spiece wants to recognize all of the great people of the 260. Dave, I want to thank you for putting these shows together, putting these guests together. It's been awesome to have.
Next week's guest,
next week,
Roosevelt Barnes.
Roosevelt Barnes. We better
Ooh, that's a heavy hitter, baby.
we better hope Purdue doesn't get put out of the tournament.
You know?
Rosie's coming, so next week's Roosevelt Barnes. Thank you, Sonar. Ben with Multi-Format Network. Thank you, Denise, for pulling everything together.
Thank you, Denise.
And once again, we are the 260.